What's up, guys? Welcome back to Breakout Trading. It is October 16th, a Friday, and I'm just going to be doing a little recap today of my trades. So I didn't trade yesterday on Thursday. I didn't see any setups I liked, and honestly today wasn't too pretty either. Um, Overall down $5 on the day just because I had two trades that I was in that looked promising, but I took profits when they popped up, and then they kind of just both crapped out. So I ended up, not really making any sort of big gain on the day, and plus commissions, I'm actually down $5. So yeah, we'll go over that. So the two main stocks I had on watch today. So this is kind of like a little watch listing that is on Trade Zero, like the simple watch list. And the way I have it organized is usually at the top I have my two #1 watches for the day. So today that was Hertz and SGBX. The reason SGBX was up there was because it was gapping up pretty huge on some news that, what was the news? The news on SGBX was they had a partnership with Blink Charging, BLNK, like the EV company. And they make like construction materials out of old shipping containers. So I guess they had something to do with Blink. So that's the reason that they were up today. You can see on the daily chart there that there was this key level right here at 330, where it was support for this little islandy looking area. Then we went down above it and couldn't get above. We had a confirmation of it being resistance right here. And then today on just pre-market, we were actually holding right at that 330 level. So you can see 330 was right here. So as the first candles are appearing, I noticed that we were holding that level. So I actually ended up getting long right here. I bought 30 shares there. I sold 15 of those shares on this pop here, and I was hoping to hold the rest for a move higher, because there's a lot of space here. There isn't much resistance, honestly, up till 670, so I didn't want to have a great entry on this thing. I usually don't enter stocks this early in the day. This is only after 4 minutes, so I didn't want to get a great entry right on some support and then sell it all like at the first 1 or 2 minutes of the day. I wanted to have a piece that I could hold and manage throughout the day. But as this thing came back down, I ended up selling that last piece there at 344, so pretty much break even for my entry. So this trade in total ended up net realizing me $5 minus, what would that be, 1, 2, 3 in commission. So I was down or up about $2 at this point. And then SGBX kind of chopped around a bit, and I actually ended up going long on it once more. So if I take this daily level away there, it looked like to me at the time, it doesn't really look like it too much anymore, it looked like it was kind of finding a base right around here, and I was hoping that it could curl up and break above VWAP. So once again, so in hindsight, honestly, this first take profit, I should have been taken off a bit more because it was right at VWAP. But yeah, anyways, this thing started to kind of base out, and I took one more stab here. I bought 25 shares at 321, and my plan was to stop out right below this pivot low right here. And as we dropped down below, that's exactly where I stopped out, right there at about 305. And that one was a $4 loss, including commissions. That's a $6 loss there. So this is the only real full-on losing trade of the day. And then after that, I just left it because it was clear that it didn't want to rally. And as you can see, that little pivot low there actually acted as resistance on the stock all day there. So yeah, just not great action out of this one. I was really hoping that we would see some more, obviously, upwards movement, but we didn't really see that. So yeah, that was SGBX, and then the only other one we traded was NNDM. And this one has been moving pretty good for the last quite a few days here. You can see it's had many green days in a row. So I was kind of going for a bit of a short squeeze play here, just following that momentum. And actually what drew me to this today was see this double top here. So we have a high here at 485 and another high here. And today was the first day we actually broke through that. And if I was short any time in this area, I know my stop would be right above here. And that's probably why this thing rallied from $5 up to $6 there, because these shorts were getting forced to cover. So anyways, once we got above about 487 there, I started to pay attention to this thing. So basically, let me rethink what I was thinking here. Okay. Right, so this thing, right, okay. So this thing was popping up pretty good. And as you can see, I had a really nice morning momentum. And then it starts to hit a high here of $6, $5.99, and it pulls back. And I actually missed this first buy here. It was right on VWAP, that first dip buy. And I remember watching this thing come down, and I was like, oh man, this is probably going to bounce pretty hard, especially because it has this pivot high here, lining up nicely with VWAP. But I didn't end up putting any bids here, which obviously I regret. But I ended up having a really nice bounce, and then it came down again, sort of making, now it's sort of making like this tightening pattern. So once it started to hold above VWAP here and sort of calm down on bouncing, and I saw that the volume was decreasing, so it was a nice low volume pullback, I decided to get in here. What did I do? I bought 15 shares at $5.59, and then yes, I remember. So I was watching this downtrend line as well, and then as soon as we started to pop above this with this big increase here in volume, I added another 30 shares there at $5.75. And then this thing was clearly going right for the high of day up there at $6. So on the way up right here, when we were starting to really hold above this consolidation, I thought we were for sure going to break $6 and move up higher. So I sold a little bit here. Just always good to lock in profits, especially if you're still below the previous high of day. So I ended up selling 20 shares there at $5.90. And this thing went right up to $6. Here, I'll take away the arrows and stuff. Yeah, so this thing went right up to $6, and as you can see, it ended up making a clear double top right here and a huge rejection doji candle. And at that point, I was holding half my position, and I was like, oh crap, this thing doesn't look too good anymore. So I ended up just cutting the rest there. Sold it at $5.64, the last 25 shares. And even though that this was technically a losing trade, I still kind of came out of it break even just because I took that piece of profit high up here instead of holding the whole position hoping to break through the high of day. It's always good to scale out into strength. So once this had its double top right up here, I'll just take these away so it's even easier to see. Yeah, so once it had its double top right up there, I knew it was pretty much done, so I got out here, and it kind of hovered around, and I was debating whether or not I would get back in, and if I was to get back in, it would have been on the breakthrough $6, but this thing ended up breaking VWAP, and at that point I knew that it was over. And as you can see, that was definitely the end of the momentum for NNDM today. Also, HTZ, Hertz, had a really nice move near the end of the day here. We made a bit of a an ascending triangle formation that didn't end up getting resolved, unfortunately. So right around here, we are forming into a really nice ascending triangle, and I really thought it was going to break this 275, 280 area, which was also the high of day at the time was at 285. So if we broke through this high, it would have blasted right through 285 and squeezed out some shorts. But as you can see, we kind of broke below this, kind of ended up breaking below this uptrend line that had formed, and then it kind of just chopped around till the end of day. And I also think that it being so close to the end of day did not help for this breakout at all. Yeah, that was a potentially really nice setup there on Hertz for a break above 273. Yeah, so that's pretty much it today. Not that eventful. Took 3 total trades. One full-on loser on SGBX, and then the other 2 I got to have one take profit, and then the other half of the position was either cut at break even or just below, or just above, or just actually I think this second SGBX trade I cut the other half just below. No, okay. So this one I took half profit, cut the rest at break even. This was the only losing trade. And then on NNDM, this one was cut at around break even after it failed to break out above $6. So yeah, pretty much just either break even today or not much. Yeah, not much going on. JKS is an absolutely insane ticker. So remember I think it was last week. Yeah, not a few weeks ago. Last week, I was short this thing way back here on this day. So I was short this thing at $59, and I remember I was like having a bad day, and I remember I set my stop for the maximum of my account, which was $800 at the time. I set a stop for $71, and look at where we are today. We are just about at 71. So if I had held my JKS short all these days, this whole week, I would have absolutely blown up my entire account by now. And I'm sure a lot of shorts in this thing are in that position right now. So I'm patiently waiting for the backside of this thing because it is an absolute monster, and I can't wait till it collapses too short. Maybe once it breaks this. Maybe once it breaks this downtrend line, it'll finally start to collapse. Yeah, crazy move on this thing. These are some of the other gappers today. They kind of just faded all day. Really boring action. Yeah, not much to really do there. NNDM was the one we traded. And then I was also watching Tesla again for some continuation from this day. But on Thursday, everything kind of sold off, and then today you can kind of see that breakout I traded on Wednesday didn't really end up handing out too good. NIO also really strong still, actually. I'm surprised how well it's holding up the way Tesla's looking. So yeah, pretty much just a pretty meh day, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Down $5 today. Adios.